How's it going, everybody? I am Ghost, and welcome to my reality check. So I'm a little different today. I'm just going to ramble about the midterm elections coming up because, man, I truly believe that these are the most important midterms that I've seen in my life. I honestly do not think our country could survive. I don't think our society could survive another 2 years of this wanton spending and intentional destruction of the greatest country on earth by people who don't like freedom, people who don't like liberty. They want it, but they don't want us to have it, and they don't want you to have it. Because we really are. The Democrats, I keep hearing them say democracy is on the ballot. Well, when they say democracy, what they mean is their control and power. That's what they mean when they say democracy. I mean, I've already seen signs that they're trying to set up for the steal. They're already talking about having to count votes for days or weeks. They're already setting that part of that, the 2020-2018 steal up, setting that up. You can see it. It's in the news. It's everywhere. If people would just open their freaking eyes and see it. This is what kills me the most about this. It's not like it's some big secret. It's right out in the open. Right there. All they have to do is open their eyes and see it. So that brings me all the way back to that. It's got to be willful ignorance. And I cannot understand how somebody can be in denial like that. But I do understand how powerful denial can be. I understand that firsthand. So we have to make sure that we take back at least the house. Because if we at least take the house back, then we have control of the money. House controls the purse. But we really do need to take the Senate back as well. Because if we don't, they will continue tearing this country apart. And by the time it gets to the 2024 presidential elections, they'll have all the laws that they need and everything in place to make sure that they never lose another election. This is the time. So make sure you go out there, make sure you vote, and make sure you vote wisely. I mean, because we are literally voting whether or not our future is going to be a future of tyranny or if we're going to continue freedom and liberty and independence. So you have to make a decision. There is no middle ground on this. If you don't vote, you're voting for this side. Pure and simple. If you believe in freedom, you got to vote right. If you want to be a slave, go ahead and vote left. That's basically where we're at. That's the crux of it. But one of the things I wanted to talk about is after. You know what's coming because the Marxists are going to do what they always do when they don't get their way. They're going to send their fascist minions out into the street to wreak chaos through our lives. The whole point is to wear us down until we give up. I've said before, this is a war of attrition. They don't want to have wholesale slaughters to maintain control like Hitler and Stalin and Mao. They think they can do it without that, but they can't. Everybody that came before them thought the same thing, and it all ended up the same way because it's a pipe dream. They don't understand human nature, and therefore they are not taking human nature into account for their ideology. And that's a fatal flaw because you cannot change human nature. So we already know now that this is coming. If we take back even just a house, that will be an excuse for them to get out there in the streets and destroy and intimidate and terrorism. I can't ever think of any rioting like this ever going on from the Republicans when Democrats are elected president. I don't remember any of this, but every single time the Democrats do not get what they want in an election, that's where they go. They use their fascist mobs to go out into the population and intimidate them. What is the definition of terrorism? Using fear and intimidation, especially on civilians, like screaming in their face while they're out trying to have a dinner with their family until they submit and say Black Lives Matter. That is fascism right there. So if you want to know who your fascists are, and they're going to be hitting the streets again, so please get as prepared as you can, especially if you live in a major city. I cannot stress this enough. The cities are going to be where things get the worst the first. And that's a reality. I mean, I pray every day that I'm wrong about this. I want to be wrong about all of this. And I'm somebody who hates being wrong. But I pray to God every single day that I'm wrong about this, that I'm an idiot, that I am just some mental conspiracy theorist. I really hope that is true. Not for my benefit, because by the time all of this gets really bad, I'm going to be either in the ground or too old to matter. That's why I try to get these younger generations to understand that we're not doing this for us. My generation is fighting for you. Because once we're gone, there's nothing standing between you and them. Because right now, the only thing protecting you from them is us. Once we're gone, you're on your own.